Tom Crean's Rabbit, a true story from Scott's Last Voyage by Meredith Hooper. The story in this book really happened on a voyage to Antarctica in 1910. The ship was called the Terra Nova. Her captain was Robert Scott, and Tom Crean the sailor was a member of the crew. Tom the sailor picked up Little Rabbit carefully in his big hands. He wrapped her in an old woolly jumper. "You'll need a rest, Little Rabbit," said Tom. "Somewhere on this ship there is just the right place, warm and quiet and cozy. Let's go and find it." Tom the sailor looked at the black cat with one white whisker. The ship's cat was tucked up in a warm, cozy place. He lay in his own little hammock, just like the sailors' hammocks, with his own little pillow and blanket. "Oh, this hammock is full of black cat," said Tom. "There's no room for you here, Little Rabbit." Tom the sailor looked up at the skylight, where the ship's parrot was swinging on her perch. "Hello, Polly," said Tom. "Hello, Polly," said the parrot. "Oh, you can't live on a perch, Little Rabbit," said Tom, and gave the parrot a piece of string to unravel. Carefully Tom the sailor climbed down the ladder into the ship's hold. There were boxes and sacks and barrels in stacks and heaps. It was very cold. Tom peered around and shivered. "Oh, it's much too cold and dark down here for you, Little Rabbit," he said, and he climbed back up again quickly. Tom the sailor looked into the big cabin. Everyone was busy hanging up paper lanterns, paper chains and flags. "Come and help us put up the decorations," they called. "Come on, Tom." "Not now," said Tom. "I have to find a nest for my little rabbit." Good smells were coming from the galley. Tom looked around the door. The cook was stirring something in a big saucepan. "What's for dinner?" said Tom. "Special surprises for a special dinner," said the cook. "You just wait and see." Tom the sailor put on his big warm jacket. He pulled on his woolly hat and woolly gloves. "We're going up on deck, Little Rabbit," said Tom. "Mind now, keep warm." Snow was falling gently. The sea was covered in big pieces of ice like white meringue. Icebergs floated slowly by like spiky mountains. 2 whales lifted their great backs in a patch of blue-black water, then sank below the surface. Fat silvery seals lay on the ice, yawning and scratching themselves with their flippers. A little group of penguins stood staring at the ship. More penguins scurried across the ice in a long line. One penguin climbed to the top of an ice hill, and the others pushed him off. High above the deck, up against the sky, a wooden barrel was lashed to the mast. Pure white birds flew round and round the rigging. "Oh, it's no good going up there with you, Little Rabbit," said Tom. "You can't climb and you can't fly." The deck was filled with dogs, brown dogs, hairy dogs, black and yellow dogs with pointy ears and curly tails. Tom tucked Little Rabbit deep inside his jacket. "Hello, dogs," said Tom. The dogs barked and yelped and howled. Tom the sailor went forward to the place where the ponies were kept in strong wooden stalls. The ponies were munching their oats. They banged at the side of their stalls with their sharp hooves. "Oh, this ship is full up," said Tom. "It's crammed and crowded. Where can I find a warm, quiet, cosy place for your nest, little rabbit?" Little Rabbit's long, silky ears drooped. "I've got it!" shouted Tom suddenly. He ran down 8 steps and poked his head into a gap under the deck where the hay for the ponies was stored. The air smelled sweet. "Just the place for a nest," said Tom. Carefully he unwrapped Little Rabbit from the old woolly jumper, and he put her on the hay. Little Rabbit hopped around, sniffed the hay, and lay down. "And now," said Tom happily, "it's time for my Christmas dinner." Everyone sat down around the long table in the big cabin. They ate tomato soup, roast mutton, plum pudding, and mince pies. Yum! Then they opened their little parcels from their families. They pulled crackers and played games and sang songs. They were a very long way from home, but it was a good Christmas party. When it was nearly bedtime, Tom went to see if Little Rabbit was all right. He poked his head into the gap under the deck where the hay was stored. Little Rabbit lay in her warm, cosy nest in the hay. Lying next to her were 17 baby rabbits. "Oh, that's the best Christmas present ever," said Tom. 17 babies. Now I can give a rabbit to each of my friends. Well, nearly." And he stroked Little Rabbit's long, silky ears. Tom looked around at the night. The deck was covered in glittering snow. The world was utterly quiet and still. The sun was a soft golden hall, and the ice glowed white with purple shadows. "Happy Christmas," said Tom to the world.